everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to bring you along with me while I epoxy my garage floor with the DIY Rust-Oleum epoxy kit, as well as the clear coat. So I have done all of the prep work, very pregnant, and now the moisture levels are down and it is good to go.
All I'm reading everywhere is how the prep is the most important part. I might have overkilled it, but I also would rather prep too much than not prep enough and have the epoxy chip up in a few years because of simply human error. Also, yes, I'm 39 weeks pregnant here and I'm ready to pop, but this project needed to be done. I started with sweeping away any dirt and debris, but I realized that that wasn't actually going to cut it because the relief cuts that were in the concrete had collected all of the dirt and sawdust over the last 2 months, and I couldn't get it up with the broom. So I decided to bring in my DEWALT pressure washer, which never disappoints. Later on, I will probably fill these cracks with something, but I'm not exactly sure what. I was thinking maybe caulking or grout. I don't know if you've ever filled yours. I honestly don't mind if it cracks later on. My thought is just to get something in there so that the dirt and debris doesn't collect again, because it's absolutely going to, given the nature of my work. So if you have filled yours, please let me know. I'm looking for something to bring it up to the finished floor level. That way I can sweep it out super easily. If you're wondering what the purpose of a relief cut is, it's also known as a control joint. It's in the event that if the concrete settles enough to crack, which usually that happens and it's not typically a big deal, your hopes are that it cracks inside the joint. It's only about 3 inches deep, and sometimes that doesn't happen and it will crack in other places. We'll see in a few years. Hopefully it doesn't crack at all, but I'll update you guys then. Once that is cleared out and removed, I scrubbed the floor with dish soap. This garage was started in the spring with all of the rain, and that has created a lot of mud that has dried in certain places, and I had to scrub it clean. The directions say that anytime you add water to the floor, you need to let it dry for 24 hours or do a moisture test before you begin the epoxy. So keep that in mind for however you are planning to lay out your prep work and when you plan to do your epoxy. This is definitely a substantial amount of water, so I need to let it dry for at least 24 hours because once I scrubbed this, I pressure washed it again, twice. I was able to clear out most of the water using my Libman push broom, which also has a squeegee on the top of it, which was super convenient for this project. It took a while, but I was able to get most of the water out the front door, and it was actually extremely satisfying. I'm seeing now that the reason that this project might be daunting to some is because of the length of the time that it takes. The workload's not large, but there is a long amount of dry time in between each step. So it's usually about 24 to 48 hours, but you need to practice patience and let it dry properly. Otherwise, it won't stick simply because of human error. Once the initial clean was dry, the first step is the etching process. Essentially, this is a citric acid mixed into water, and it will break down any stains or anything that the first clean did not get. I used my watering can and I mixed it up. The reason I chose that is because I could pour it out easily. You're supposed to only work in small sections at a time. Then I used the same bristle brush to work the etch into the concrete, and you could actually see and hear the acidity of the mix working. So it was very satisfying to know that whatever I wasn't able to manually get off the floor, this was going to do it. And then I rinsed it and squeegeed it once again. And as that dries, 24 hours later, you should not be able to feel any chalky residue if you run your fingers over the floor. If you do, you need to rinse it again. And I did. I had lots, so I rinsed it again. And finally,
Reporting live from my garage, 38 weeks pregnant, and we're gonna epoxy the floor today. So I'm really excited. The moisture level is now pretty near non-existent. We have 48 hours of leaving it to dry. The recommendations say 24, so we're absolutely dry and good to go.
this is how the epoxy is packaged. It's in a well-sealed bag that you just roll one side into the other. There's directions on it. And then the seal that's separating the two packs inside the bag will break and it'll mix. So you're just going to mix it around for 1 minute and it's good to go. It's so easy.
That was so much easier than I thought.
Pour it into your paint tray or directly onto the garage floor. I've seen both done, but since this was my first go, I wanted to put it in the tray just to test it out and go slow. The best way I mapped this out was to start in the corner and use a brush to cut in. That way, in case you have a finished wall, I don't, but in case you do, you won't get the roller making a mess on the wall. Use a regular paint roller and roll on about 4x4 sections. Once the section is rolled out, you just take the chips that come with the package and toss them in the air. It was actually pretty fun. Starting with a small amount until you get used to it, just so that they don't end up in one big clump. But honestly, I can't really see that happening because this part is so simple and so much fun that you honestly can't mess it up. If you want more chips on, just throw more chips on up in the air and they just sprinkle down over. Roll your next section and then keep going with the chips. When I was rolling each section, I made sure to throw the chips onto the previous one as well so that you couldn't see clear squares of where I was rolling. It's so satisfying to do this part, especially knowing that I prepped the floor so well that this is going to last. Do not skip your prep. Do not skip your prep. There's seriously a grasshopper in the wet epoxy. This would only happen to me. It would only happen to me. It was looking so good. And once your floor is completely painted and all of your chips are down, you do need to wait another 24 hours. I know it's a lot of waiting, but we're almost done. I decided to use a clear coat. It's not completely necessary, but my thought is that if it's offered, then there's definitely a benefit to adding that next layer of protection. When you use the clear coat, you also have the option to add the non-slip additive, which is what I did because the next day when I went in the morning and I was touching it, the spaces between the chips were definitely slippery. It wasn't bad because there were a lot of chips and they add a lot of grit, but I probably added less than I should have. I just liked the look of it, but you will notice that the paint itself dries slippery. The chips are what give it that extra grip. So if you're adding any less than what I'm adding, I definitely suggest putting the top coat on with the non-slip additive. I suggest it anyway, because once I did this, which goes on the exact same way that the epoxy did, the bag, the pop in the middle, mixing it for a minute, and then rolling it on. Once that dried for 24 hours, it almost felt like a mild sandpaper. It was really nice to walk on if you're bare feet. Not that I'm ever going to be barefoot in my workshop, but you probably will be if this is in your garage or your basement. But yeah, it gives like a mild sandpaper feel. So it will absolutely add grit. Either way, I do suggest adding the top coat for the fourth time that I'm going to say it with the non-slip additive. Side note, and it really depends on your space, but the control joints were a great start and stop point for me. The garage is about a 700 square feet, and I was a little intimidated to try to do it all in one paint job, especially because you only have about an hour of working time with the epoxy once it's mixed. So this allowed me to do half of my floor, about 350 square feet, with one crisp start and stop line. So I had my baby. She's absolutely precious, and I'm not quite back in the swing of DIY videos yet, but I have some content that I have filmed while pregnant with her that I'm going to be posting. But this garage is actually what's going to allow me to put out more consistent videos. I'm really hoping to have something one a week. So a few things from you guys. I would love it if you could let me know what you would like to see from this space, as well as if you had any product questions or questions on steps that maybe I wasn't clear about in the video. Definitely comment below. I check my comments regularly and I'm here to help. Happy DIYing, and I'm so excited that I'm going to be seeing you guys a lot more now that I finally have this beautiful space behind me.